Let me ask you something. When the biggest players in the financial world start making moves, do you think it's because they feel like it? Or do you think they know something the rest of us don't? Because here's what just happened. On March 6th, 2025, a report came out showing that North America saw a $6.8 billion surge in gold ETF investments in February. That's the biggest one-month spike since 2020, and gold hit 9 record highs before pulling back. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, gold went up, so what? Well, stick with me, because this isn't just about gold. This is about why it happened, what it means for you, and what the people in power aren't telling you. By the end of this, you'll understand why this is one of the biggest warning signs we've seen in years. And more importantly, what you need to do about it. But first, let's talk about who is buying gold. Follow the money. What are the smartest investors doing? If you've ever wondered how billionaires always seem to come out on top, here's your answer. They see the writing on the wall before everyone else. And right now, they're making moves. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Gold ETFs are seeing historic inflows. That means institutional investors, big banks, hedge funds, and people with inside connections are piling in. But they're not just buying gold on paper. COMEX vaults are being filled with physical gold. That's right. It's not just numbers on a screen anymore. Big players are demanding actual physical metal. Ask yourself why. 3. The US Treasury market is sending recession signals. Yields are dropping. That's Wall Street's way of screaming that trouble is ahead. 4. The dollar is weakening. If you've noticed that your groceries cost more and your paycheck buys less, this is why. 5. Inflation fears are rising. And let's be honest, when was the last time prices actually went down for anything? Let me ask you, do these sound like signs of a strong economy? Or does it sound like the people at the top are bracing for something? We'll talk about what that something is in just a second. But first, let's clear up a common mistake people make when they hear about gold surging. Paper gold won't save you. Here's why most people hear gold and think, oh, I'll just buy some gold stocks or ETFs. Bad move, because what's really happening is that even the big guys don't trust paper gold anymore. That's why we're seeing physical shipments of gold making headlines. Let me put it this way. Imagine you're in a crisis and your bank account says you have 50,000. Great, right? But then the system crashes. ATMs stop working. Banks freeze withdrawals. Suddenly, that number on your screen is just that, a number. Now, imagine instead that you have gold and silver in your possession. Real, tangible assets. Something you can trade, barter, or hold on to as the value of paper money crumbles. Which position would you rather be in? We'll talk about exactly how to start securing real wealth in a minute. But before we do, let's take a quick look at the global picture, because what's happening outside the US is just as important. What's happening in the rest of the world? Let me hit you with something crazy. In China, gold demand is exploding. How do we know? The Baidu search index for the word gold just hit its highest level since 2013. Why does that matter? Because Chinese citizens don't trust their banking system. And guess what? Neither do their wealthy elites. They're pulling money out and moving it into real assets. And it's not just China. 1. Germany and Switzerland are quietly stacking gold. 2. The UK is dealing with inflation and rising yields. 3. The European Central Bank is expected to cut rates again. Translation? Money is losing value everywhere. And when that happens, history tells us what comes next. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's talk about what you should be doing right now. Preppers, this is your wake-up call. You've been waiting for the perfect time to get serious about financial preparedness. This is it. Here's what you need to do. Get out of pure paper wealth. I'm not saying dump everything, but start shifting some assets into things that actually hold value. 2. Start accumulating real assets. Physical gold, silver, land, tangible goods, things that don't disappear when the power goes out. 3. Stock up while prices are still manageable, because once panic sets in, the shelves empty fast. 4. Pay attention to what governments do next. Capital controls, banking restrictions, new tariffs. These aren't wild conspiracy theories. They've happened before, and they will happen again. And finally, 5. Stop waiting for permission to take action. Nobody is going to announce, "Okay, now it's time to prepare." The people at the top don't want you prepared. They want you dependent. But you don't have to play that game. The signs are already here. The question is, what are you going to do about it?